In the first section of our lecture, now we will talk about the obstetric history. We divided this section into three subsections or three parts in which we will talk about the social and family history of the pregnant patient, and then history of present and previous pregnancy, and also we will talk about how we can calculate the expected date of delivery and what questions should be asked while taking the previous obstetric history. First, the overview. The examination and history of healthy women undergoing a normal life event. Pregnancy is a physiological period. Pregnancy is a physiology. It's a normal life event. Pregnancy is not any pathological condition, but there are many complications associated with pregnancy, but pregnancy is considered a normal life event. So it's the examination and history of a healthy woman undergoing a normal life event. That's the obstetrics or obstetric history and examination. Questions and the examination of the patient during the prenatal period or during the natal period, all this depends on the age of the gestation or age of the pregnancy. So depending on what stage of pregnancy the patient is visiting the obstetrician or the doctor, questions and examinations based on that gestational period. Perform at routine antenatal visits or when complications develop. During pregnancy, or once the patient knows that she is pregnant, she should routinely see the doctor or obstetrician to rule out any complications during the pregnancy or to if there are any problems during the pregnancy. Regular antenatal visits are very important, and the examination during the antenatal visits usually help to prevent the complications and usually help the doctor to ultimately find out whether they want to do the normal delivery at the end or whether they need the C-sections at the end. So it's important that patients should have regular antenatal visits. The social history of the patient, usually it's a sensitive issue. During the social history, different questions should be asked. It's important that patients should give the honest reply to those questions because some of these things affect the outcome of the pregnancy also. So it's a sensitive issue. Different questions that should be asked during the social history of the patient include mainly ask the patient about the domestic violence, how their relationship is at home with the partner. So it's important because patients who are victims of domestic violence, they might have some complications with the pregnancy, maybe due to stress, maybe due to injury during the violence. So it's important to ask this question. Then also about the smoking and drinking habits of the patient. Smoking and drinking both can affect the fetus in utero, so it's important to ask these questions. Recreational drugs, if patient is taking any or using any recreational drugs like marijuana, heroin, this should be asked. And always while asking these questions, it's important that Patient-doctor bonding should be very important. They should trust the doctor, and they should reply very honestly. And this is important only when they have a strong bond and the patient knows that the doctor, her information is safe with the physician or with the obstetrician. Regarding any relationship that's also marital or extramarital is important. Housing and income, if they have a good income and they can have a better lifestyle, or they can afford the good, healthy, nutritious diet, that's also important. So if they are working, if the patient's husband is working, if their income is good, that should be asked. Working women are not. And some other questions also. So all these questions should be asked to the patient regarding the social history during the obstetric history taking. Then dating of the pregnancy, how we can calculate the expected date of delivery, EDD, expected date of delivery. The normal cycle or normal menstrual cycle is of 28 days. Ovulation usually occur at 14th day of the cycle. So on 14th day ovulation occur, and this is the time which is the most fertile time, 14th day of the cycle, during which the conception can occur. From last menstrual period, not the date of conception. For finding the expected date of delivery or EDD, we ask the patient what's the first day of the last menstrual cycle. So first day of the last menstrual cycle, then add 9 months and 7 days to that day. That gives the expected date of delivery. Usually in patients with the normal 28-day cycle, expected date of delivery is accurate plus minus 7 days. So week before, week after, plus minus 7 days, EDD is very accurate. But patient should know the last day of the first day of the last menstrual cycle. Sometimes patient or females don't keep a track of their cycles. In that case, ultrasound is helpful to find out the what stage is the pregnancy at. So expected date of delivery, this is the pregnancy calculator. Once you put the arm on the first day of the last menstrual cycle, and then you move the other arm 9 months and 7 days, that calculates the expected date of the delivery. 280 days, usually the gestational period is 40 weeks of gestation, 280 days. EDD, counting forward 9 months and adding 7 days to that, gives the expected date of delivery. So if the patient tells today is 17th of September. Suppose some patients tells the first day of the last cycle was 17th September. The expected date of delivery will be 17th September is 2018. So when we move 9 months, so we have October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, 9 months, and then 7 days, adding 7 days to 17th will be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So the expected date of delivery will be 28th June 2019. That's how you calculate the expected date of delivery, 9 months and 7 days to the first day of the last menstrual cycle. Now, history of present pregnancy. last menstrual period, especially the first day of the last menstrual period. Menstrual history is important. 28-day cycle, usually ovulation occur on 14th day of the cycle, and after that, after 14 days, the onset of menstruation occurs. Usually women who have irregular menstrual cycle, the irregularity is because of the first half of the menstrual cycle. Because once the ovulation occur, the onset of menstruation takes place 14th day after the ovulation. So irregular cycles, the first half of the cycle is usually irregular. So history of present pregnancy, we have last menstrual period, first day, then our menstrual cycle have a proliferative phase of menstrual cycle, and then secretory phase is the second half of the menstrual cycle. If the cycle is longer, it's usually because of the proliferative phase of the menstrual cycle, not because of the secretory phase, which occurs after ovulation. So this is the women with the 28-day cycle. This is with 35-day cycle. Usually the expected date of delivery is slightly longer than females who have longer cycles or 35-day cycles. If they are using, ask them if they were using any contraception before the conception. That's also important to ask. Next, previous obstetric history is important. Any complications that occur during the previous obstetric or previous pregnancies, that's important to ask, because sometimes the complications can occur again. So it's important to know, because then the doctors usually take special precautions to prevent those complications again, or those outcomes again. So it's important to ask about the outcome of the previous pregnancies. In this, we to discover what the outcome was in each pregnancy. Primigravida or multigravida. If this is the first pregnancy, or it's multigravida if they have previous pregnancies or deliveries also. If there are recurrent miscarriage, if patient has a history of recurrent miscarriages at certain age during first trimester, then it's usually patient have increased chances of miscarriage again, or there might be fetal growth restriction. So outcome of previous pregnancies is very, very important, because usually the conditions, they repeat themselves, and if the doctor knows what was the outcome, usually they take preventive measures to prevent that outcome. Patients who have recurrent miscarriages, usually the miscarriages are very common in the first trimester, first 3 months of pregnancy, and more common in primigravida. But if it's due to some other conditions that can be prevented, usually the mother is advised to take rest and to restrict the movements, because that sometimes can help to prevent the pregnancy. Then if there is a history of preterm delivery, there is usually increased risk of preterm delivery. Early onset of preeclampsia. Eclampsia or preeclampsia is the condition in which there is increase of blood pressure, hypertension, there is amniotic fluid is less, and there is, in the extreme conditions, there is proteinuria, and there is a seizure attack also. So if this is in the previous history, then there is also increased risk of preeclampsia in the this pregnancy also. Abruption, there is increased risk of recurrence. Congenital abnormalities, recurrence risk depends on type of abnormality. There is macrosomic baby, macrosomia, big babies are very common in diabetes. So may be related to gestational diabetes. So tests should be done. Usually diabetes is tested every antenatal visit. Urine is tested for the glucose level to rule out if there is gestational diabetes present or not. Fetal growth retardation, if there is previous history, it can increase the recurrence also. So it's very, very important to take precise past history or previous obstetric history to prevent the or to rule out the outcome or prevent the conditions that can be prevented. So the outcome of this pregnancy is different than the previous pregnancies. In some countries or in the third world countries where there are still areas in which the antenatal visits or antenatal care is not very common, so the outcomes of pregnancies are usually not very good, and it can also cause fetal mortality, and there is also increased risk of maternal mortalities and morbidities. So it's very, very important to have antenatal visits and good examination during pregnancies. Unexplained stillbirth. Stillbirth is the death in utero of the baby. So that's also, there is increased risk, especially if patient have gestational diabetes. Then previous medical history. Some medical conditions can also cause complications during pregnancy besides the obstetric history. Good medical history is important, like diabetes, if there is any renal disease, if patient has high blood pressure, cardiac disease, thyrotoxicosis and Addison's disease and infectious diseases. All these can be, should be asked in detail if patient has any previous medical history, because all these can affect the outcome of the pregnancy, and they should be asked in detail if the patient have these problems or not, if they are taking any medications for those, because some medications used for these abnormalities or diseases can be teratogenic and cause the abnormalities in the baby. Then also in the family history, ask about some common and genetically inherited diseases, like ask about there is a history of family history of diseases like thalassemia, then Down syndrome. All these can be, should be asked because they can be inherited also. Then details in regard to the mother demographics are important. Maternal age. Some diseases are common which in the if the age of the mother is more than 35, like Down syndrome is common, and then amniocentesis is performed, especially if the mother's age is more than 35 years. Then ask about the body mass index. Past obstetric, medical and surgical history like laparotomy, C-section, myomectomy. History of previous C-sections usually end up in C-section in all the pregnancies, so it's important to ask whether the last pregnancy or delivery was normal vaginal delivery or it was C-section delivery. So that was all about the obstetric history. What are the different questions that should be asked in the social history? And then we talked about the medical history and then the family history, and also about previous obstetric history. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.